what if Earth had two suns? Let's say you wake up one morning, stretch, open your window, and surprise! There's a second sun hanging in the sky, just chilling next to the first one. Double the sunshine, double the fun, right? Well, not exactly. This isn't just some sci-fi sequel to our solar system. This would be a full-blown cosmic disaster. But before the oceans boil and the squirrels panic, let's take a step back and try to understand how this would even work. First, we have to decide what kind of two-sun system we're talking about. In real life, binary star systems actually exist. In fact, most stars in the universe are in binary or multiple star systems. So it's not crazy to imagine that Earth could have formed in such a system. But there's a catch. Those systems are usually designed by physics, not by IKEA, to be stable over billions of years. If we were to suddenly add a second sun to our existing setup, it's like inviting a lion into a peaceful kindergarten. Chaos is inevitable. Let's assume the new sun is just like our current one. Same size, same mass, and it magically appears in a stable orbit. And let's also say it's close enough to shine on Earth at the same time, but not so close that it immediately rips us apart with gravity. What would happen? First, temperature. Earth doesn't need much extra heat. Our current sun already does a pretty good job of keeping things cozy. Maybe a little too cozy lately. Adding a second sun would significantly raise global temperatures. Not just by a few degrees, we're talking the Earth turning into a toaster oven. Glaciers gone, oceans evaporating, Australia on fire even more than usual. Entire continents would dry up. Your sunscreen? Useless, and don't even think about sleeping. If the two suns are on opposite sides of the planet, then at least one of them is always up. Goodbye, nighttime. You might experience a weird reddish twilight from time to time if one sun is setting and the other is rising, but real darkness would be rare. Owls, bats, introverts, all doomed. Humans would either adapt to live in underground bunkers or just collectively give up on sleep. Entire global economies would collapse under the weight of constant insomnia and sunburn. But let's say the suns orbit each other in such a way that they're usually in the same place in the sky. You get super bright days and normal nights. That's a little better. At least you can still enjoy Netflix after sunset. But the light from two suns isn't just double. It's exponential in effect. Plants would photosynthesize like caffeinated maniacs. Your front lawn would grow faster than you could mow it. And tropical fruit would be popping up in Antarctica. Great news for pineapples, bad news for polar bears. Let's not forget the gravity. The new sun has the same mass as our own, which means its gravitational pull is enormous. Even if it's placed at a safe distance, its tug on Earth's orbit would throw everything off. Earth's current orbit is finely tuned, like a record spinning at exactly the right speed. Add a second sun, and suddenly we're wobbling, shifting, getting pulled this way and that. Seasons would become unpredictable. You could be sunbathing in January and shoveling snow in July. Farmers would riot. Weather reporters would cry on live television. And tides? Tides are already complicated because of the moon and the sun. Throw in a second sun, and suddenly you've got tidal waves that don't follow any rules. The oceans might slosh around like a shaken soda bottle. Coastal cities would need to be relocated. Fish would just give up and move inland. But maybe you're still optimistic. Maybe you imagine a beautiful double sunset, like in Star Wars. Yes, there's a romantic side to all this. Artists would lose their minds trying to paint two shadows at once. Sunglasses would become twice as important. And sure, you'd get dramatic lighting for your Instagram selfies, provided your phone didn't melt. Of course, all of this assumes that the two suns can coexist peacefully. In reality, their gravitational interaction could destabilize the entire solar system. Planets might get flung into deep space like cosmic billiard balls. Or one sun might slowly spiral into the other, leading to a spectacular stellar collision. That would be very beautiful to look at, and also the last thing you'd ever see. In the end, having two suns is one of those ideas that sounds cool in theory, but horrifying in practice. Like building a water slide on top of an active volcano. Earth works the way it does because of a delicate balance, and adding a second giant fusion reactor to the sky is like giving a toddler two espresso shots in a trampoline. So, next time you think you're not getting enough sunlight, just remember, one sun is plenty. Two? That's not twice the fun. It's game over. So, maybe let's stick with one sun. It's already trying to kill us anyway. Hope you enjoyed this sunny disaster. Hit the like button before we all melt.